Check on our end. Welcome, everyone. I think we should be live. Bear with us here. This is the first time that we've attempted to stream a Burr Friends poker game, so this should be interesting.
Good
How are you,
morning.
Melissa?
I
Yeah,
am doing
GM.
quite well. I just woke up about 20 minutes ago. and
Nice.
yeah, no, but we're ready to go. I'm super excited for this today. It was the first thing I had to do today.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see if your plan here works. I'm going to try to get in here. How do I spectate? So I'm
So you just open up the
registered.
table. Yep,
Yep.
just open up the table and then put the passcode in GL Toady, and it
Yep.
should just let you spectate the game.
The register button's not there. Where do I don't see anywhere to spectate. Are you seeing the screen here?
It should let me see. What are you looking at here? It should let you just it should let you have go to the table. Open up go to players. Click on the
Yeah.
player tab, and then click on the table,
There we
and
go.
then you open up the table.
Awesome. All right, that worked.
Hey.
So now you guys get a view of the game, but you don't see our cards. So that's what we were trying to figure out. That's why we're a little late starting.
Yes.
Apologies to anyone. I just want to double check to make sure that we are indeed good. Yep. Our RFG, our tech helper here on the streaming side says everything is good. So thanks for everyone's patience. This is the first time we've ever streamed a Burr Poker Club game. While we're starting to play here, do you want to talk a little bit about what the Burr Poker Club is for anyone who might be seeing this on Twitter or X rather, or on YouTube? What is the Burr Poker Club?
Let me just get this cast out that we're playing in the quote cast. Passcode is GL30. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Why didn't it do that? I hate technology. I really hate technology with every fiber in me.
We're definitely dealing with a lot of technology for this one, but yeah.
No. I'm being facetious. I actually love technology because it allows us to do things like this. Because it's actually pretty fucking cool that I can play poker with you from across wherever you're at, and we can just do this. So, okay, that's been said.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so Burr Friends is a poker club comprised of about 294 people right now to this day. And basically, it's a community of people that got together because we love playing poker, but that's actually not how everyone got into the club. They got into the club because they were on Warpcast and they wanted to connect with other people via this poker club. And I would estimate that I say 20%, but it could be anywhere between 15% to 30% of people in this club that basically just fired up a YouTube video and said, I want to learn how to play poker, and just sat down in the game. And I think that's really admirable I think it's really telling of someone to just say, I'm going to attempt to compete with my peers in a game I've never learned. I don't know how to play, and I'm going to fire a YouTube video and figure out how to do it. So we have a lot of beginners. We have a lot of novices. We even have some we have some really, really good players also in the club, which is kind of surprising. And I'm really proud of the good players, the medium players, the beginners, but the good players also help the beginners, right? We introduced a new game called Pot Limit Omaha, which is a game that not everyone is familiar with, but some people are. And I see the more experienced players constantly helping the new players. They're telling them what the rules are, how to play, but they're actually, they're all competing against each other. So it's just a really nice
Which,
dynamic.
by the way, you don't see that at the casino. You don't see that when you're playing in tournaments because nobody wants to give their opponent an edge, right? So
but to hear these people are like playing with each other every day, they're friends, they're interacting with each other on social media, and now here they're kind of gambling, but they're free prizes, right? So how serious can you take it? But you do want people to be competitive, because what fun would it be to log in and play a game with people that are not competitive, which you're just beating on every day. That's not fun. So I really need to get back to the sit and goes with Burr because it's been a little while, but I used to run these poker with Burr sit and goes where I would just help raise the skill level of everybody so that everyone was like a little bit more competitive. And it was really necessary in the beginning when the club was coming together because I feel like it was important for people to not for them to not get discouraged when they first started playing poker. You know, you don't want to be so discouraged. You're just like logging in and losing. And it was like I really need to help out some of these beginners to not play every hand. And you know, it really only took a couple fixing a couple leaks where then they finally got the idea and it's like all you need to do is make it to the end of one to feel that sense of accomplishment winning. And it's I just think poker is a really great game for a lot of different reasons. It bolsters a lot of healthy like feelings in yourself, like, oh, I can do this, like I figured out math, I figured out, you know, where what people have, and it's like
Wait,
there's
you guys are doing math? Oh no.
well, it can help you with your Moxie everyday rewards too. But it's a really good social game to get to talk to people where it's like some people are nervous in a lot of different social settings, but poker and gambling is one very evening playing field. You get cards, everyone starts with the same amount of chips. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. Everyone is very equal when it comes to poker.
Yeah, and like skill plays a role, but definitely like luck definitely plays a role as well. Like you get people who just join your club and they'll win a tournament in their first week, which like you don't really get that with many like pure skill games, right? So it's kind of a nice, like you said, an evening playing field. We all get humbled by the cards, anyone who plays.
It's true. And the other thing that I'm super proud of, you know, as a female that came from a very male-dominated industry, I played for over a decade professionally. I've played with a lot of different men, very nice men, some very hostile and aggressive men, and at any given day in this club, you'll have a very even split of 50% females, 50% men. And I think a large part of that reason is because the men in this club and the women also foster a very nice environment of inclusivity and belonging, and the females in this club feel very comfortable to keep coming back. Like we not only do we see a lot of females join the club, but we see them stay and play in these tournaments every day. And I think that's pretty special because in crypto you don't see a lot of females, and poker you don't see a lot of females, but in this club you see tons of females playing every single day. It's kind of really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no, what does Toady have here? Okay, I gotta think.
What did Toady get on the river?
What did Toady get?
What a river rat.
Is Toady bluffing one of these first hands early on?
I wouldn't bluff. Yeah, I wouldn't bluff.
I have a pretty big hand here.
Yeah, I think you got ace king. So the question is, does ace king beat what I have?
Oh, ace king! I can beat ace king. I can beat ace king.
No,
oh my god, I can't beat
king.
three queens. Oh my gosh, you river rat! I knew you didn't have a flush. I would have heard from you if you had a flush draw.
That was a good
oh
river.
my gosh, you're so lucky. Even heads up.
I was just trying to lose minimum on that hand. To be honest with you, I knew you had an ace, or I thought you had an ace. Anyway. And see, this is what we're talking about. Luck plays a role. You can even be a terrible plebe and still win hands against a professional poker player. So.
It's funny, JC early on when JC started playing in the club, Sparks, you know her in the club as Sparky Sparks, but she started playing in the club, and I actually just love JC from Workcast, and she got heads up with me early on, and she started playing me, and I swear in the history of Burr Friends, no one has check raised me on the river heads up more than JC, by the way. Wow. And this little player here, I played her twice heads up, and she beat me twice. And I announced it to the whole club. I said, JC is the best heads up player in the entire club. It's not even close. And some people have a different skill level in poker, and they can be really good with like understanding relative hand strength, or maybe they're really good pre-flop. But JC has this innate ability to play heads up, and if you do get to the end with her, she's very tough to. She's very tough to put a hand on.
I've played her a few times. She is quite strong.
Oh, she's very good.
Yeah, and I think one of the things people don't realize when they first start playing this game is that it is almost like a different game when you get heads up, or even like when you get 2 or 3 people instead of like 9. Because first of all, your hand is a lot stronger because there's not as many competing against you, and there's just all sorts of elements. I actually don't like playing heads up that much, so um, this is not my element. I like mixing. When I play, I like mixing it up. I like the bigger the table, the better, and yeah, get to play lots of hands.
Okay, well, do you prefer 9-handed better, or do you prefer 5-handed? How many people is your sweet spot, do you think?
So actually, now that I'm going to go against what I just said, I think I do actually like a 6, like 6 to a table, because you can play a wider range of hands, but you still have enough people to mix it up, so it doesn't. Yeah, heads up can just be a little bit intimidating sometimes.
I think most people think so. If you notice, No Limit starts with 9 people, and I made the PLO tables 8-handed because I think that for most people, I think they prefer 6-handed because they get to play. They don't have to play lockdown tight like when you play 9-handed.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people probably prefer 5 and 6-handed, if I had to guess.
Can you explain that for people who are watching? Like why can you play looser? Why can you play more hands when you have fewer people at the table? It might be obvious, but maybe not.
Okay, so Toady and I are playing heads up right now, and if you see on the screen, there's this button that signifies, it says D on it, and it stands for the dealer button. And the reason why that is because when you have the dealer button, you act last all of the time, which is a huge advantage. And so every single hand, this button rotates to each player to give each player an opportunity to be the button to make it fair. So knowing that, when 9 players sit down, each player gets to be the button 1 time, so that's 1 out of 9 times. So that would thereby you would deduce that you should be playing playing really good hands when you're the first person to act. So if the button is the last person, the first person to act is the first person after the small and big blind. We would call that under the gun. And as you reach out further from the blinds, you can play worse hands. So if you were playing tight, when I say you're playing tight, you're only playing your really, really good hands. And as you get closer to the button in later position, you could play more loose hands. And these are all considered ranges, right? You're playing a specific range under the gun, and on the button, you're playing a specific range. And on the button, you can play probably 80% of your hands, and under the gun, you should only be playing about 15% of your hands.
Yeah, and the reason why that is, I mean, the simplest explanation for why that is just because you can bluff more when you have position, because more probabilistically, what more people have at the table because they've all acted before you, they've checked, and of course they can be bluff checking, but
you have
chances are
everyone has already told you what they've already made their first decision round of what their decisions are, and they've told you, and now it's on you to decide what do you want to do based on all that information first.
That's right. So when people make comments like, "Oh, it doesn't matter what cards you have to just play the player or play the position," that's kind of what they mean. Because now here I have the position, so
right, and Toady just sees me checking. I clearly have nothing.
That's right. So should I bet? I shouldn't bet the pot. Then you're not going to pay that big of a bet. So we'll just do a little.
Did half pot?
Little value bet.
Little value bet, huh? Toady says, "I don't like playing heads up," and then all of a sudden just puts me in all these difficult positions, huh? All right, I call. I'm just here to click buttons. I've never seen so many big hands heads up. My God, Toady, we're on hand number 5. You showed me trips, a full house. This is tough.
I know. Club GG style,
Oh yeah. Who asked me recently? I was on a call with someone recently, and they said, "Are you going to play on Poker Now? Because NownProf has that." And I'm like, "Oh, funny story."
That was me.
Oh, no. Somebody asked me, and I said, Toady doesn't actually trust the dealer on there, so we're playing on Club GG.
That makes me sound like a paranoid schizophrenic or something. But so here's the thing: is it actually is very, very difficult. Any programmers who might be listening know that it's actually very, very difficult to make an RNG engine that is true RNG. And so that's one of the biggest things with games like a poker game, where when they're trying to actually mimic what a card deal would be. It's more difficult than you'd think, and some apps are better than others. And I mean, no shade at Poker Now. They're gonna see this on X and they're gonna like block me and stuff. Like the Poker Now army is gonna come flame me, but I don't know.
No, it's whenever I see people like debating the idea to like, oh, let's just build a poker client for WordCast. I'm like, oh my gosh, the amount of work that goes into constructing an RNG is, it's a ton, because you have to make sure that it's impossible to exploit, because when you create an RNG for poker, the first thing people will try to do is hack it. They will try to figure out how to beat it, and it has happened. There have been like multiple cheating scandals within online poker where it's happened, and that's why when I started Burr Friends, I used Club GG, because it's a name that everybody who is in poker is familiar with. It's already been battle tested and approved. So I see a lot of communities attempt poker, and I always look to see what poker site they're playing on to see if they're a serious community. I'm like, what site are they playing on over there? I'm like, I've never heard of that. That's clearly not a decent one. So that can't be buying those NFTs. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
The guy is from, shout out the guys from Cove, the former team behind Once Upon. They're building a new product for basically kind of like a what's that app where you can split things with your friends? I always forget the name of it. Like if you go out to dinner, you can split a meal or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I forget what this is called.
Anyways, it'll come to me later. But they're building basically like a crypto native version of that. But they're also building like a gaming client to use it. And one of the games they're going to be building is poker. And they've been running a few poker events, like poker nights, just to test it out.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, it's Jordan Messina and Paul Cowgill and a few others. Anyway, we've been playing, and they've been using an app while they're still developing their own app. They've been using a mobile app called Poker 2, I think. Poker 2.
Oh, Poker with 2 R's. POKERR2. Yeah, that's the other one. That's pretty good.
Bad.
It's not bad. That's a pretty good one. A lot of crypto. There's quite a few crypto clubs that run private clubs. But they're also raked, which is horrible. Don't ever play in a club that's raked. You won't be able to beat it.
You mean you can't beat the house? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's tough. But there's a couple good ones out there. A couple good poker clubs, but just be careful. There's a lot of little potholes that you can get really caught up in a lot of different ways in poker, and you should really step lightly. If you're playing in Burr Friends, this is a very safe environment to play in. All the prizes are free. There's no entry fee. Anyone's allowed to play. You don't even have to hold a Burr token to be able to play in this free experience. And if you win a couple tournaments here, that is not it's not a license to go play in the casino or a private game that you see on crypto, right?
Or even a recommendation.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But if if you're branching out and you're thinking about it, like, hit me up and say, hey, what do you think of this, Burr? I found this opportunity. Is this any good? And I'm happy to tell you whether or not it's a scam.
So this is an interesting thing about Burr Friends is if you had asked me a year ago, I would have pretty staunchly said that like poker is not even the same game when there's not money at stake. And like that's not just to be like a degen gambler, but rather the fact that like having skin in the game is actually a big part of the psychology of poker, and people play very differently when it's not for real money. You've all experienced this if you've played poker at like a friend's place and it's like not for real money. People just go all in for no reason. Like they're not playing real rational poker, but you've actually managed to make your club work, even though it's free roll. There are real prizes. At least it's real. It's magic internet money. It's like DGen and Moxie and these things. But people on Farcaster especially, and people in the crypto space obviously, like to collect these currencies. So it's just a little bit of skin in the game, and it just makes it so that people play for the most part pretty rationally, and it makes for good competition. And that's a really hard balance to strike. So kudos to you for that.
So I knew that was going to be an uphill battle for people to not have skin in the game. And it was really important to me that nobody pay and it stay free. But as someone who, plays games my whole life, I know that if you introduce a progression that people care about, they will play for it, right? So I knew really quickly that I had to get that progression on the road, and that's when you saw me introduce the Tournament of Champions. And that is something that I knew that everybody in the space that was playing in Burr Friends, if they got left out of it, they knew everyone else made it. So it was kind of like the peer pressure of seeing everyone else that was involved in it and being like, oh no, I have to win my seat to this exclusive tournament that everyone else has a seat at too. It's like, it's not necessarily that they care about the money, it's that everyone else is going to play this tournament on this day and I'm excluded from it. So now I need to play to get into it. And then if you take that one step farther, I saw that like everyone wanted me to play in these sit and goes, but I can't really play in every one of them, right? Because that doesn't really make sense for me to win my own prizes. So I
Yeah.
saw this kind of opportunity for people that wanted to play me. So I was like, okay, well, maybe if they win the Tournament of Champions, they'll want to play me at the end. So I introduced like this other progression. And then when I finally lost to LED World, I was like, maybe I got thinking about the connections I have in poker, and I have so many great friends in the actual poker industry. I know I can bully them to give me free stuff. So I introduced this idea of the Clash of the Titans because here I had someone who'd beaten me, who had kind of beaten the end game. Now what happens?
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'll just bully Doug Polk to be like, oh, give me an Upswing subscription, and I will talk about Upswing with
That's cool.
with 300 people in the poker club. I still have to do this, but that's the whole idea of this progression. You take a free experience and you dangle the smallest carrot along the way, and then people will be like, "Oh, I want that." And they forget that it was all free, right? They just see what's possible, and I think that's really cool because you just have this wonderful game, and then you interweave all these social aspects to it with people, and you see how they react, and it's like, what do they care about, what do they not care about. But then you see, like, we just posted the results for the monthly leaderboard. We have so many different moving parts of Burr Friends. You don't have to participate in everything. You don't have to clock in. There's not too many things you need to actually do. I keep up with most of it for you, and it's like if you can make things easy for people, they will turn out for you in droves. Like they will
Well,
show up for you all of the
you
time.
you and your interns, of course, and your interns. Don't
Oh
forget
my
them.
goodness, I could not do any of this without my interns, right? And it's important to me that everyone know that my interns, every single one of them, Dante, Aunt Homie, and my primary intern, Jellyfish, all of them volunteered. They all told me, like, hey, I want to help you. I do not ask for, I can't ask anyone to do free help for me. The first person who ever asked and reached out to me was Jellyfish, who was just recasting, telling people who was at the final table, just helping me do everything. And then, more people offered to help me, and it was just like, I can't believe this. So if you see any of them in the WordCast streets, please make sure that you tip them because, like, I can't afford to pay them, and like,
Shout
help
out, shout out interns. They do a lot. And
they
for
do.
people who don't know, for people who are just watching, maybe they don't realize the amount of work that you're doing in community building over on Farcaster. You're running like how many of these free tournaments a day sometimes on Club GG?
On any given day that I actually run, like today, we'll run it after our heads up match concludes. But I mean, most days that we run them, they're minimum 15 tournaments, and they're not actually that hard to run anymore because the way that we do it is I send out what the passcode will be for every tournament. So if you see a tournament lobby, you have the actual passcode, and you're set
Yeah.
to go. But 15 tournaments at 5,000 ham a tournament is 75,000 ham if it's a ham day. If it's a
Yep.
DGen day, you're looking at, Jason is a regular sponsor for Higher Hats, which you can see here. Uh,
Shout out.
Jason tips Jason tips me 5,000 DGen a day from his allowance, and then after we hit 60,000 DGen, he runs his day, and that's 60,000 DGen on that day. It's like
Nice.
we have tons of different sponsors that will roll through, and I had a promotion from that applied to any of the Hamigos. If you sponsored a ham tournament, it was really important that I wanted to spread the ham education through the ecosphere because they came out with these hamcaster tokens. Deployer is always shipping shit, and it's like I wanted to use Burr Friends as a vehicle to expose my network to all the cool stuff that's happening on Farcaster. And it's like I felt like this hub where it's like I could talk to Cameron from Seymour, find out what they're doing, and then, kind of in place this call to action to Burr friends, get them paid in tokens, and then expose them to the cool stuff that's happening on Farcaster. And I just saw this larger opportunity for my friends to not have to milk people for Moxie or bait people in the comments. And I just thought that I could build a better world for all of us, and we didn't have to live in this whole like just horrible engagement world that nobody wanted to live in, I think.
I think it is really cool though that these kinds of technologies enable someone like you to create a community, create a club, and like, when you say magic internet money, it's kind of like a joke, but really it is, right? You're able to have
Yeah.
these real currencies that people can at the end of the day swap for USDC and go pay their bills with if they really want to. And you're able to like access those and use them as prizes. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's a wonderful time to be alive, and like when Moxie hadn't come out yet, but I knew it was baked into the pipeline. I was thinking about election season coming up, and I was keeping an eye on Degen, and everything was the vibes were down, and I was like, what part can I do to pump our bags going into election season? Because all of this needed to happen, and I thought that like social finance really was going to play a huge role heading into election season with crypto, and like everything was kind of just slugging along. So I was like, oh no,
and by the way, Trump, if you are watching this, don't forget to claim your Moxie.
But you also can't control everything, right? You don't know what's going to happen with the market. You don't know what's going to happen with each of the tokens. And that was also another reason our friends kind of came out, because like we're not beholden to any single token. We work with all of them. We work with all different communities, and it's like if any one of the tokens were to fail, Burr friends would just keep going. And I always wanted that to be independent of any token.
Yeah, and they do, and they have, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But the main ones are still kicking and actually doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean everything is doing really well. I couldn't ask for anything better at this point in time.
One thing that your club reminds me of is I grew up with a brother a couple years younger than me, and we always used to, everything that we did was always like some sort of a tournament. Like I don't know if we were weird that way,
No,
but like instead of like just going and playing road hockey, we would go and play road hockey, and then we'd play 5 games, but we would pretend we were the different teams, and then we would like log down who won what and like have final tournaments and stuff. And the way you run this club just like brings back a lot of that nostalgia of just like, running these fake tournaments. Not that they're fake, but you know what I mean? Like running these gauntlets, if you will. You talked about like right now, this is I won the Tournament of Champions, which I had to win one of your tournaments to get into. Now I play you, and if by some chance of God I beat you, then I would go and play in this. What are you calling it again? The
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans. So it's like there's always like a chance to level up. I love that.
Yeah, and like at the end of every rainbow is a pot of gold, and I'm just going to keep coming up with fun, cool prizes where people are just going to give them to me for free, because if you're a person who gets shit done and you're a nice person, people will help you get to the next step, And then also, I feel like if I can constantly keep creating these win-win situations for people, then we'll all just advance more and more. And like working with you or working with Prof, Cameron, all these different people, I think that's just the way forward. If you keep the community at the forefront of your thoughts and do what's best for them, keeping in mind that they're the real asset, then like I feel like I'll always make the best decision. Like I feel like you can't go wrong. I feel like a lot of people get lost along the way because they try to make the most money from the community, and it was a really, really bad feeling for me. I see a lot of it in this community, and it's no good.
You have to build a community from the bottom up, right? You can't build it for greedy reasons, for sure. People see through that very quickly.
Yeah,
for the most part. This is
you're really crushing me here. 34-15.
But we haven't had any big hands, so this has just been luck of the draw, I think. I haven't played a lot of heads up, but I find the tournaments that I have played in your club, when we do end up, it's like a long grind back and forth, and then there's just one hand that just like decimates one person or the other. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the poker GG gods, the club GG gods, to decimate one of us. This is fun though. I'm glad we're trying this out with the streaming. Hopefully it's working well. If you are watching on X or YouTube, jump in the comments and let us know if this is fun to watch, because I'd be happy to help facilitate in the future, and I'm sure Prof would be as well. And maybe we can get some of these games, because up here on the screen you got room for at least 2 more people on the other side, and it'd be kind of neat to
We
have
could
like
have we have some commentators, right? Someone just commenting on the state of the play. Like, I can't believe Toady didn't bet Jack 4 here.
Actually, I think you and I would make really funny commentators for.
Oh, we
for this
would,
game,
yeah.
actually. So we could totally do that.
If JC and Kevin ever want to play Heads Up, we could just roast Kevin relentlessly as he's laughing the entire time.
Let's do it. I like it. I don't know if anyone who grew up in the 90s knows, like in the early 2000s, poker had its like heyday when it was on on ESPN, on all the main channels. It was like, poker went mainstream basically. And so a lot of us watched a lot of like late night poker in those days. And so this kind of brings back some of those vibes, not saying that we're as entertaining to watch as like Phil Ivey and co, but maybe some small fraction. Oh, there's the there's the not exactly a monster hand, but anyway.
Hey, I gotta win one every now and then.
For sure.
I used to play. I've never played on a live stream. I'm actually really paranoid. The one that I saw a buddy of mine played on the Hustler live stream, I feel like I'm always paranoid that something's going to happen with the card reader and the RFDI, because I feel like anytime you send your cards to something else and then they broadcast them, I feel like somebody is going to see them.
And a hack,
yeah, like that's never going to be for me. So you're never going to see me on a live stream. I've been invited to a few of them, and I'm just like, I feel like such a
interesting. I
feel like such a coward, because I'm just like, yeah, no. And also the idea of I've played in a lot of really big spots in my life, and where people could have potentially critiqued how I played, and I don't like that. I don't like people having the idea of people being like, yeah, that's not how I would have played it. And I've commentated a few times, and I know how brutal I am with people. And I wouldn't want people talking about me like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing about this streaming that probably makes it a little less entertaining than it otherwise would be, is that you guys can't see our cards. So I've been trying to show a card here or there, but just knowing that people who are watching are like, what the hell's happening? I don't know who's winning. So yeah, that's the only thing. Showdowns you see, obviously, but otherwise you don't see the cards. So I don't know what the answer is to that, or how, like, you could do it maybe on a delay. I don't know.
Yeah, but you would only see one half of them. You wouldn't be able to see both of them.
Is there like a God mode in Club GG where you can see all the cards when you log in?
No. You would never have. They would never have that. You can't even scrape the data like from previous games in an easy way. Because if that were possible, I would have like a database built in all of you with your stats. But I have to manually take the screenshots from every tournament and then transfer the data. It's horrible.
Kind of makes sense though. You don't want to give people a chance to like code themselves an edge against their competition or their club.
So it's to prevent the in
your favorite hand.
Oh my God! Get this shit out of here, Kevin. They have what's called a heads-up display, and it allowed me to play 1,000 hands an hour of what's called Zoom poker, and it gave me heads-up statistics on people's 3-bet frequency, their fold to 3-bet frequency, fold to a check raise. Like, it was amazing how fast I could read stats on people and play hands.
Real talk, that's one of the reasons why I don't like playing that type of online poker. And
they did away with them. You can't use them anymore. That's because they cracked down on the data scraping, because you need the hand histories. So all the sites, you can't get hand histories anymore. So you're protected against that. But if you really wanted to, you find a way. Some people could find a way around that. But no, HUDs are banned from almost every site now. Can't use them.
I didn't know that. Yeah, it's been a while since I even checked one of those out, but that never interested me. It's like, you know that meme like from the Olympics where they had like the shooting competition, and like there's the
the one guy.
I'm the Turkish guy. I just like that's how I like to play. I don't want to play with like a heads up display being like Burr has folded 35% of the time in this spot.
Yeah, but if you were a professional, you would have. I think you
Of
would have
course.
used every tool available to you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I just find like if you're just playing for fun, for me that wasn't super fun because you're just like turning it into like it ends up being like a battle. What do you call it? Like an arms race? You know, like who has the better heads-up display, who has more information on their opponents.
I just realized there's a whole chat bar to the right hand side. My poker screen was covering it, and I
Oh,
just realized this whole chat bar was here. I've been ignoring all these people. Can I chat to these people?
oh yeah. I wasn't even want. I forgot about that too. So it's
How
hard
do
enough
I?
for me with ADHD. It's hard enough for me to like concentrate on streaming this and also playing the game and talking to you and not sound like an idiot. So this is I was already
I
at
I
max.
I feel really bad. I've been like ignoring the whole chat over here.
Yeah, there
Let me
have been
see.
a few people. Oh, Spark says count me in, so she's good to have us
Is Burr playing with her
commentate.
mind? Sparks. Okay.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Okay.
That's
Oh
a
my
new
god, I
kind
feel
of
so bad.
that's a new kind of heads up display that should be banned. Burr's playing with her
I'm
mind.
just I'm just moving the mouse with. Okay, how
Yeah.
do I chat back?
Club GG has an iPad app basically that runs on the Mac, so I think that's what we're using. Which I didn't know until this, so there you go.
I'm actually on my laptop. The mouse is right here, guys. I'm actually on my laptop with the same all the same device. I'm just also clicking away.
Don't
I
ruin
can't
it.
I can't figure out how to chat though, so I'm at a loss there.
Robot Fish Girl did say the answer is a stream producer, and I think she's referring to our conversation earlier about how we could make it so that people could see the cards, but we'll have to see. But yeah.
We'd have to probably stream both of our screens then.
Oh,
You'd have to see my cards also.
right. Well, I mean, if we did that, then we just can't both be on stream. I don't know.
This is what happens when you get two boomers. You're trying to stream
Hey,
stuff.
now I'm not a boomer.
I'm not either, but in this space we are, Toady. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Kevin's 24. I'm
Oh, I
42.
know.
He's the inverse age of me. I was like, oh my word, Kevin. Uh,
Yeah.
are people
But
actually watching this? Because
yeah,
everyone really wanted to watch this.
yeah, I
People
think they
said they
are.
did. I can't imagine.
You should pop the link though if you have a second in on the Yap channel and in the Discord for people. I did post it on my Warpcast, but I don't know if people saw it. I realized.
Okay.
Uh,
What if Toady Hawk beats you?
I just saw that myself.
Well, then I'll
Then
just have to kill myself, Kevin.
then and we've been banned on Twitter. We've been taken down on X. No,
Really?
sorry.
Wow, they're really strict about this, huh?
No, they would actually on TikTok maybe, but I think Elon lets you say whatever you want apparently. So I think we'd be okay, or at least we'd be a good test for it.
Let's see. Where is
Uh,
Yap Squad?
Poopy called us W boomers, so that's the highest compliment you can get from a Gen Z. So congratulations.
What's a W boomer?
Oh God, don't say that. That's the most L boomer question a W boomer can ask.
Oh God. Toady is
It means you're a winner.
here. Oh yeah, W. Okay, that makes sense.
It's
I
like dub,
forget
you know?
somebody. Costco said something to me the other day that was some new age shit, and I was like, oh God, I forget what it was now. Every day I hear something that's just more horrible, and I'm just like, what? I realize when my parents were younger, or when I was younger, my parents were always bitching about stuff like, oh, I can't believe you kids are talking about this stupid shit, this slang and whatnot, and I
Yeah.
never understood it until now. I hear my nephew say some stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, that is so stupid. What are you even talking about now? Or the
I like it.
music.
Hot take. I actually like it. I really like Gen Z slang and you know only because I love the linguistic element of it. Like I just love how like a generation can make up an entirely new language basically, and
But
also like
there's words already that exist for some of this stuff. They're just
yeah, but
replacing our other slang, which was fine.
I mean that's the case. That's the case with all like regional
Oh, I
dialects
know.
of any language, right? So like that always fascinates me how people just start talking different ways because they live around different people. Like if you look at like all the dialects of English all over the world, or even like all the dialects of English like within London. Like how are there so many different random dialects? That stuff is interesting to me. So from that, in that context, I find slang to be very, very interesting too. Terry Bain says he works in a middle school and he is mid.
Oh, I know mid
I
is.
believe it.
Toady, we're mid. Remember we were talking about, was it when we were talking about the mid influencers when Moxie was coming out? Like how we are the perfect mid right there in that range. It's like from like
Midfluencers.
yeah, midfluencers, like 10 to like 60,000 followers. That's us. We like weren't good enough to really make a big deal about, but we're still here.
Toady said, sorry, I'm Toady. Robot Fish Girl said, Toady, that's such a long-winded way of saying you're a heckin' nerd. I don't remember what I said, but that does sound accurate. So
you are a heckin' nerd.
Sorry, I rivered you.
Oh,
You were,
what are you gonna do?
you were crushed. My 3-2 had your queen 2 crushed.
You're distracting me with all this talking.
RFG says, I think we found TNS's new mainstream niche. Maybe. Pivot. We're pivoting.
Pivot.
Oh, I thought she meant poker, but she actually meant producing boomer cringe content. Fuck you, RFG.
Oh, that's fine. We're here for all the cringe content. She's delivered straight to your doorstep via Warpcast.
The more cringe, the better, in my opinion.
How much is that? I really need to get better contacts. I have to do my taxes today, and if anyone else files the extension like I do, it's due very soon. The 15th, you have 6 days. Very annoying.
Spark says Toady has 100K followers, so technically he's not mid, but I am still mid, actually. So she's wrong.
If you add up all the followers I have on Twitter and Warpcast, I probably have about 2,000 active.
Yeah, that too. That's the other thing too. It's
they're
how many of them are bots? Definitely lots of bots.
I mean, I have 15,000 on Twitter from 2011, and it's what 2024 now. I guarantee at least half of them are completely dead accounts, just never to return.
Well, it's funny because I feel like both poker accounts and crypto accounts are probably both very prone to churn because people get degen and they burn themselves out and they gamble their rent away and then they're gone, right?
Yeah.
So
they blow themselves up in some way. But see, the difference between poker and crypto, the poker people have no shame. They'll come right back. They'll go broke and then they'll be back next week talking shit about how bad you are at poker. Like they'll see you win a tournament and they'll be like, you ain't shit. And you're like, didn't you go broke last week? And they don't care. They got no shame.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're a little bit more resilient than the crypto people. The crypto people take a hit and then they leave. Maybe they'll come back in a year or two, but the poker people come back the following week.
No, the crypto people pivot to AI, and then wherever they can. They pivot to another chain at the very least.
I'm sorry, I'm still. It's been exactly 2 weeks since I've been sick, and I'm still got this annoying congestion. So I'm sorry I'm all snotty on the stream.
It's all good.
We'll
fix it in post.
I can do this really cool trick. I can do this really cool trick that I do on every stream, and I did it on my chicken nugget stream because nobody ever believes it. But I can actually turn my hands around 360 degrees. Because I'm extremely flexible in my joints.
Wait, would you mind turning your poker hand around 360 degrees so I can see it?
So this is a trick that everyone goes bonkers for, but my hands basically just turn all the way around because my joints are so flexible. Yeah, it's like a magic.
Our viewership just went up through the roof.
But yeah, that's my party trick, along with playing pool and stuff. But yeah. I saw it on America's Funniest Home Videos.
I wonder if that helped your pool playing because you could get weird angles and stuff. I don't know.
It might have. It's pool is all on the wrist, but oh,
you pipped me.
I did. I gotta get serious here. I'm running out of chips, and I really need to crack down here. All right, I'm gonna get serious.
Who set these blinds so high? You know,
They're actually, I set them to be standard, I think.
no,
The
I'm just
first
kidding.
match, the first match LED and I played when we played 5 sets. I set it to hyper turbo, I think. Hyper turbo and 5 minute blinds. We were at push fold, like, I don't even know. It was so fast. And then that's why we had to play 5 matches, because I won one real quick, he won one real quick, and then we're dead even. And I was like, "Do you want to add 2 more tables?" And he was like, "Sure." And then sure enough, I won one, and then we just let it ride. But it was so fast. It was too fast.
I don't know how y'all do the multi-tabling. My ADHD could never. You would think ADHD would help with that, but no. You, yeah, I had every draw there imaginable, but
I owe him or he owes me a rematch. I think we're gonna play, and the winner donates the proceeds to Burr Friends. So whoever wins Burr Friends is just going to be the winner. They're just going to get to play for a pile. So if we play for 20K, DGen is just going to go towards the club.
that's fun.
Yeah.
I was thinking that if we do more of these streams, we could sort of do them as like charity games too. That way you don't run afoul of any rules, or people don't think you're gambling on stream. Which, by the way, we're not playing for real money here. We're playing for DGen, but
we're playing for magic
a
internet
DGen
money.
gift. A DGen gift, yes.
Magic internet money.
But we're not gambling, okay? We're just
not gambling.
Having fun.
Always.
Yeah, I mean, they say 7-do never lose, but I think 7-do just lost.
Oh, 7-do could have chopped.
Yeah, I mean, I was just paying the piper for my up and down there, to be honest. But
my accountant just messaged me back, my tax guy, with the
time emoji, and you're like, "Hey, I'm playing poker for fun on stream. This is very important."
He texted me, my accountant's the greatest guy on earth. He doesn't charge me anything. I give him like gambling advice sometimes about what he should do in DFS, but he's the greatest guy ever. I ask him questions at like midnight and he just answers me back, and now he's hitting me with this gift. He's severely underpaid, just like everyone that helps me.
It says IRS has entered the chat here, so I don't know what that means.
Oh my God, I am such a good taxpayer. I can't ever. I'm so good with this stuff.
She said on the public stream.
That's why I'm instructing all of you to pay your
so taxes. Quotable. I am such a good taxpayer.
I'm the best taxpayer. Yes. Professional poker player and crypto person. I'm an excellent tax player.
Judge, can I please draw your attention to this recording from the stream?
Exhibit A, from when I was not gambling with my friend for fake money.
Exactly. I'm not going to play this one. I got to get that VPIP below 90.
I got 92? I didn't realize how many hands you were playing.
My VPIP is always super high, heads up. I don't know. I mean, it's high always, but yeah, I like.
I mean, it should be high, heads up. Should it be 92%? Who's to say?
Probably not. It's working so far. Yeah, we're learning. We're learning live here.
Jellyfish says, "Love you, Toady Hawk, but get him, Burr." It's funny, when I played Ramsey and I tweeted out, everybody wished Ramsey good luck. Everybody. For every 10 Ramsey good lucks, there was one good luck Burr. And it was always like GG or Sparse.
I'll try not to take it personally.
It's okay. It's funny, though, because what I didn't realize was whenever whoever wins the tournament champions basically becomes like the player's champion, right? They're all rooting for you to win, right? Like whoever the victor comes out of the tournament champions, they're like, "Oh my God, we got a fighter!" Like they gotta win.
So why are they all going for you then? What does that say about me?
Oh no, that was just Jelly.
I'm just gonna go cry in the corner.
That was just Jelly. Everyone else is wishing you good luck.
The player's champion.
Oh, also, I feel like I would be remiss in not mentioning this. There's Afro Chicks is, if you're not familiar with her, she's a former Olympian. We're so lucky to have her on Workcast.
Friend of the show. She's going. I've recorded a Zero Pod with her. It's going to go live very soon.
I love Naomi. I can't believe that like I'm only a few degrees of separation from her on any given day, right? I could just DM her. She has this really cool contest right now. basically she has this core workout, and if you just post receipts or a video of you doing this, you can win your share of 10,000 Moxie. And I feel like there's an opportunity for people in this space to create their own little corner with the way Moxie is built, right? Like I feel like Burr Friends as a idea is a good one, but it doesn't have to be poker. It could be literally any different concept. And what Naomi does with fitness, I feel like is hugely actionable. And I see her doing it now with this challenge. And if you are not lazy and you just have to do literally 1 minute of very easy exercise, she breaks down these workouts in a way that's very efficient, compact, in 1 minute worth of exercise. So go check it out. It's on her page. I'm just trying to think of all the good things that are going on in Warpcast right now while people are watching us play really boring poker.
Yeah, come join Warpcast if you're not over there. You know, the rumors of Farcaster's death have been greatly exaggerated. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
Do.
So. And also,
if you find the right corner, it's a ton of fun. There's a ton of opportunity. There's a ton of great people. I feel like the visibility in finding that might be a little difficult for some people.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, our media collective, the Noun Square, you can see our logo behind us at the Noun Square on all platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, you're already on our YouTube probably. But anyway, we have a standing offer for anyone who wants to join Warpcast who hasn't tried it before. We'll just give you a free subscription for a year, which is like $5 because it is blockchain based, so you pay for your storage for the year basically. But we'll cover that for your first year. So if you want to check it out, drop in my DMs and I'll hook you up.
Dick.
And then find Melissa, find Burberry with lots of R's. Burberry.
It is a lot of R's.
We got LED watching us now in the chat.
Louise, we were just talking about him.
His ears were burning, so he came
ears were on fire.
Came in hot.
You must have heard that I was bitching that he owes me another heads-up match. So I felt cheated. I felt cheated because I did it to myself. I made the blinds too bad, too high.
She just said that you were much better heads-up player than I am. Don't worry. That's all she said.
I actually said he got really lucky because I fucked up the blinds.
Okay, shots fired.
Oh, he just got here, so I want to make sure that he hears everything I said.
The recording will be available after if you want to check sources.
It was actually a really good match. He's actually a really good player. Not actually, he just is a good player. And it's funny because when he joined, he is the brother of an artist I really like, Yob. And she wanted him to be in Warpcast. And she's like, oh, I think that he would enjoy it if he played poker with you. And so that's how he found the poker club. But when he joined, I realized he was a really good player. And I had said to him, I said, I don't know if this club is for you because you're clearly like a professional. And I don't know if like free poker is going to be fun. But if you're like just getting into crypto and you want to learn about the different tokens, like, yeah, of course, like come play with us. You'll have fun. And he's here winning the tournament champions and beating my ass. So here we are. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no regrets, right?
No regrets, no. But I just think it's funny. He's not the only person that was onboarded to Burr Friends by someone else who wanted them to like be on Warpcast with them, right? I think we all have someone else in mind where we're like, I really wish they were on Warpcast with us because I spend my time on Warpcast. I would like to interact with them. And I just think it's neat that she wanted him to be there with her.
Yeah, that is cool. And actually, that I wanted to say something about Naomi when you were talking about her Afro chicks, and that's that I think it's really important for Warpcast to give these types of people a warm welcome because that's how the network grows, right? Nobody really wants to come over and just talk about crypto all the time. It's not that fun. But when you can go and get like fitness information, fitness videos, these types of things, like that's what makes the network interesting. And another example of that is Murtaza Hussein, who's an amazing journalist, investigative journalist who joined recently, and he has really great takes and actually like better scoops than what you can get on mainstream media from what I've seen. So yeah, these are the type of people we want more of on the app.
I don't know how we find those people because Naomi, myself, Ace 10, eat it.
Brutal. Stop with the
um,
pips. The pip squeak.
it takes a really special person like Naomi to come over here with such enthusiasm and drive. I
Yeah.
don't know where we find more of her. Like if Workcast had 20 more Naomis, like we would not have a problem recruiting, right? Her
Well,
personality, her,
Naomi's
her
story is really interesting. I don't know how much you've dug into it with her just yet, but she's actually one of the first international caliber athletes to actually support herself. So basically sponsor herself to go to events. And she did that by creating an NFT collection called Afro Chicks. And like that funded like 2 years of her competition
wow,
and allowed her to continue, going towards her goal when she got dropped by a sponsor. So
wow.
really cool story. And like, also just a really positive story for like the good side of crypto, when you're constantly hearing about scams and grifters and rugs. It's cool to hear about someone who actually like leveraged the tech to like build a community and follow their dream when the traditional route wasn't available to her. So I thought
Hmm.
that was a really cool story to hear.
I mean, she has a lot. She has a lot to offer in the way of knowledge about physicality, fitness. Like having someone like that provide that is huge. Just in that corner of Farcast or of any social media network, right? If you have someone who has credibility in their field and is willing to share that knowledge with their community, is huge. Same with the journalist. I don't want to butcher his name. I want to say it's Mazim, but
Murtaza, yeah, is what you're talking about.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But one day at a time. I think we'll get more and more people like that, but I don't know where we find them, right? I don't know if they're hiding out on Twitter. My nephew informed me that Twitter is for old people. He found
Oh
my
no.
Twitter. Yeah, he found my Twitter and he's like, "Oh my God, you're fucking famous." He's like, "You're famous, Aunt Mimi." I'm like, yeah,
Like, this little thing.
I'm like,
Just
don't
did you
tell
tell
your
him
parents. Don't
you
tell
tell
your
him you're just
parents.
mid? You're just mid. Just tell him you're mid.
Oh, he's 12. He doesn't need to know the levels. But he's like, he's like, I can't believe it. He's like, but Aunt Mimi, he's like, Twitter is for old people. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no. Everybody's on Twitter. He's like, no, Twitter's for old people. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they're all on TikTok. That's why.
he doesn't even like TikTok. No, he doesn't like TikTok either. What does he like? He likes Snapchat and he likes YouTube Shorts,
Hmm.
which makes me they're always on YouTube Shorts. They are feeding these kids like products over like oh my god, they're churning out products to these kids. Every time he wants something, he saw it on YouTube Shorts. Makes me
Interesting.
think that yeah, we should be advertising on YouTube Shorts for products.
Next poker game, we're gonna live stream on YouTube Shorts. I don't think we can
You know
do
what's
that.
crazy about poker is that if I wanted to scale this club to 1,000 people, I could do it pretty easily just by moving over to Twitter and advertising. I know there's a shit ton of people on Twitter that would join this club from my Twitter following, but
Of course.
you guys wouldn't like that. But if there's ever a time where I'm ready to scale, I would not hook up, but I would link in with a lot of my poker contacts.
Yeah.
I just don't know why I would scale at this point over to Twitter. I need a reason. And right now, so just to give you an idea where Burr Friends is at, I have applied for grants with the Ham Retro Grant with Deployer. I've applied for the Moxie Retro Grant with Moxie, obviously. And I've applied just those two. And then those two, the Deployer grant is about 2,500 and the Moxie grant is a couple thousand. And I'm hoping that I can get maybe, one or both of them, which would give us a pretty nice runway with Burr Friends. And then I've spoken with at least 4 different potential sponsors about what the club is doing. And I feel like there's a world where Burr Friends just collaborates with the biggest and best products of Farcaster, and somewhere in the not so distant future, every single big product or protocol that comes to Warpcast advertises through Burr Friends. And everybody in this club gets exposed to that product, gets paid with the tokens to use it or some sort of call to action. But I really just want to get my friends paid. To be honest, when I started this, if you ask anybody from the Bitfloor Ghost Discord, it was just my number one endeavor was like, I just want to get my homies paid, and I want them to have a good time in their day-to-day lives. That was the biggest motivator. So hopefully,
Oh, you dodged a monster. You
oh,
dodged a monster.
I had the
The
10
two was.
four. Why did it only show one card?
Have you ever noticed that sometimes Club GG reveals your hand when you didn't ask it to? Have you seen that bug?
I tried to reveal both cards and it only showed one. I don't know what's
No, but
happening.
sometimes if you win a hand because nobody bets, it shows your hand even though you didn't want to show it. It's happened to me a few times.
Oh, don't you just have to showdown to win, like a showdown hand if it goes in order?
No. Like I'm saying, like in a case where you didn't have to show your hand, sometimes it shows your hand. It's happened to me
Oh,
a couple times, and even if you go back in hand history. Now, what I don't know is I don't know if other people can see it or if it's just a bug showing on my end.
hmm.
But yeah. Anyways,
No, I never noticed that. I'm gonna have to look though because I play cash games pretty regularly here, and I don't want that for sure.
I mean, just keep an eye out for it. Maybe I'm just like crazy, but I think I've seen it happen where it's revealed my hand.
Okay.
At least in the UI, it's showing both my cards as like, upright or
Okay.
face up rather. When I didn't click the button, and I'm not a boomer, so don't say I clicked it and I didn't know. Robot Fish Girl says that Toady is a hard man to dislike,
Oh.
but occasionally worth the effort, and I agree.
Toady, you're impossible to dislike. You can. Everybody likes Toady. I've never met a single person that said a bad word about you ever.
Oh,
Not to me anyway.
Yeah, they probably just say it to other people.
And literally every single person I have met from the Yellow Collective is just an upstanding citizen. Basement, Loudman, Crypt Daddy, all of the Yellow Collective, extremely nice people. It makes me want to join.
And
I
also
now.
all of them are very good taxpayers as well. I just want to throw that out there.
Very great taxpayer. Listen, everybody at Burr Friends is a great taxpayer. Mark it down. I said it. You heard it here first.
If you don't know about the Yellow Collective, I appreciate the shill on our behalf, but check us out, yellowcollective.xyz. It is a fork of Nouns DAO on base, and we are all about supporting and empowering artists and creators. So that's kind of fun. We do a lot of commissions and art contests and these types of things. Yeah, so come join us. Join us, Simpsons meme.
They are. I mean, it's like when they joined. I wasn't aware of everyone who was in the collective, but everyone who's come through Burr Friends and has announced that they're part of the Yellow Collective, I swear, are just like the nicest people. It seems to be just a tie that binds. I'm just like, oh, you're from the Yellow Collective. You must be a good person.
So not to go too far down the Nounish rabbit hole on this particular stream, but I do think that's one of the superpowers of the Nounish model. And if you're not familiar with how Nouns DAOs, like Nouns DAO and Nounish DAOs work, usually there's one token born every day. That can be modified, but most of these DAOs, it's one token born every day. So you always get this like intentional organic growth because only one person can join every day. So it's not like you're getting like 10,000 people streaming into your Discord all at once and you get the good with the bad, and the bad often are louder. If any of you remember like 2021 Discord vibes from that that frothy season, you don't get that with these types of DAOs. So I think that might be part of it. It's just like we were able to grow very slowly. A lot of the like base team were early members of Yellow. Like Jesse has number 13. Oh, just a classic rivered straight. Nice.
Nothing serious. Sky high.
And then you had to give me my 2 because I can never fold a pair of 2s. Come on. But yeah, I think that's what I would say is it's just because we've been able to grow so sort of organically over the last 9 months that it does attract a certain type of person, people who like helping artists and who just want to vibe and help creators. And so yeah, very similar vibes actually to what you're curating at Burr Friends. I think that's why there's an overlap. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm now seeing the chat. First of all, my boomer ass was looking at the chat at the bottom, the wrong end. I didn't know it was at the top that it was refreshing. Now I can see the comments as they're coming in. I also just woke up not that long ago, so I see Gigi. Welcome to the chat. I see Gigi's with us now. I'm so sorry, guys. I see that Terry Bain, yes, has been. I think Terry might have had some surgery. Terry is a really interesting story. He's one of my favorite stories on Warpcast. But Terry and I met through Power Monday. But early on, Terry came into my mentions one day, not a lot of followers. And Terry joined Power Monday and was like, I don't care about Power Badge, but I'm here in Power Monday because I'm here to support you, Burr. And I'm like, Terry, just get the Power Badge. It's going to help you. And he's like, nah, I don't want the Power Badge. But lo and behold, Terry got the Power Badge. And then I was like, Terry, just join poker. You're going to like it. And he's like, I don't like poker. I'm not joining poker. And I'm like, Terry, just do it. Terry joined poker and he loved poker. Everything I have forced Terry to do, he's loved. Okay. So Terry fights everything, but he loves everything I make him do. So now Terry just takes it with a grain of salt and he's like, okay, Burr, I'll do what you say.
Even paying taxes. He's just
Oh, yeah.
loves paying taxes now. Ever since the Burr friends.
We all pay taxes on Burr friends. Oh God, here we go.
You know, methinks the lady doth protest too much. I feel like we're getting into that territory now.
No, that's the thing with crypto people. If you are getting into it, it's like you have to, but it's a necessary evil. You cannot be. I don't know how some of these people I saw in poker where people just blatantly just. I don't know how they did it though, because some people in poker just like didn't pay anything. And I would see when you win X amount of money with poker, you get W-2'd instantly from the tournament. And I never understood how these people were just like, yeah, I'm not going to pay. And I'm like, how do you get away with this? I didn't know you could just ignore this. No, but they did. And I'm just
eventually they don't.
I gamble, but like not like that. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. It's crazy. Terry says, listen to Burr. That is the real alpha. Terry finally learned it.
If you learned one thing, if you learned one thing about poker on this stream, listen to Burr and life. Poker and life.
I never direct people to do bad things that I think you won't like. So definitely.
No. You'll do them with them, but you don't direct them to do them.
No. Getting my blanket.
It's cold in there?
My Ugg blanket.
It's starting to get cold here too, but I mean, we can't complain too much about the weather with what's happening in Florida.
No, oh my gosh, no, that hurricane, all these hurricanes, just crazy.
So speaking of TikTok being mid, I'm very mid. So I was on TikTok and I saw this account, and I'm pretty sure this guy's just doing it for likes, but he legitimately decided to stay in Tampa, either because he couldn't get out or just wanted to milk it for views, and he's literally just staying in his condo and live streaming it as the hurricane's hitting it. It's like seeing an accident on the side of the road. You can't help but look. Like, you don't. Hopefully, nothing bad happens to him, but like there's mandatory evacuation in that area, and he's just sticking around for the views.
Some people are just insane like that, where they just, I don't know, they just live for stuff like that. It seems crazy to me.
Yeah, well, I looked at his account, and he's like one of these trader guys. Like, he's trying to be an influencer. So I guess he's just taking a calculated risk that he's going to get a lot of viewers, which he probably will. But hopefully it doesn't cost him the ultimate price, I guess. But yeah. Am I talking about Lieutenant Dan? I don't think it's Lieutenant Dan.
Basement asks, what state do I live in? I live in the wonderful state of New Jersey, and I live about 4 miles from the beautiful Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Are they your sponsor?
No. Oh my gosh, no. I played there for over a decade. Ever since they opened the doors of Borgata, I've been playing there. But I still live in this area because I was playing there as a professional right up until 2020. I still play there occasionally. It's where I played the last tournament. But my family lives in New Jersey. I can't leave the state. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I like get sick of New Jersey, but I just can't leave because my parents are here and I'm so close with them. But even if
just to clarify, you could leave. You're not like, you don't have like an ankle bracelet.
I could leave. Yeah. I just I'm so stuck to this state with my family. But then I think about like how I hate the winters here. I despise driving in the snow. And I just think about living in maybe Vegas or Texas or something. But also, I love the pizza here. So I'm such a pizza snob. If you ask anybody, Spit or Wake, I'm always coming down on Maryland pizza because I'm a pizza snob.
Well, we have a saying here in Canada, which I don't know if you've heard, or maybe you guys have a similar one, because you guys get a lot of snow as well. But we'll say this is why I live where the air hurts my face, because there's just you'll see like a video from Australia or something where they're finding a giant spider in their shoe, or some of the videos coming from the hurricane where there's 7-foot gators walking around South Carolina. And it's this is why we live where the air hurts our face for 7 months of the year. We don't have to deal with that shit.
Terry said invest in some tissues. I have tissues in my bedroom. I have to go get them because I have these paper towels. These paper towels are crushing me. I have to go get those tissues.
Oh, by the way, good reminder that today's stream is sponsored by Bounty. Bounty, the quicker picker upper.
Yeah. I just happen to have these paper towels here, but yeah, they're crushing me. I have to get these tissues.
Wait. Bounty, the sniffer picker upper. It's
Sniffer
a new.
picker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get whatever I have here because it's been crazy. When I had COVID the first time, I had it for like a fucking month, and whatever I just had here was like a flu. I didn't have a fever or anything, but this congestion is awful. I hope you guys don't get this. This is like going on 2 weeks now.
Should I play Doyle Brunson or should I fold? What do you think?
I would call.
All right.
I would call here.
I'm just gonna do whatever you tell me to do in this hand. I'll check because I didn't hit the flop.
So I like snow. Gigi says she loves snow. I love snow. I just don't. I knew I was gonna get shot with my own gun if it came 2-2. I am so scared anymore to like drive in snow. It like everyone, you know what it is? Everyone is such a horrible driver these days. I'm like scared to drive around people. Like everyone's on their phone. I see them like sweat, like drifting into lanes and stuff. And it's like every time I drive in snow, people just scare the bejesus out of me. I'm like, what are you people doing? It's like when the weather gets worse in New Jersey, I swear everyone just drives worse. If it's raining or snowing. So it's like the Northeast is just horrible for driving in bad weather.
Yeah, Canada's like that too, for sure. Lots of bad drivers in the winter. This is why I would never This is why I would never ride a motorcycle. You know, like as cool as it is, and as good of a driver you may be, there are just idiots who will run over you.
Yeah,
and you won't survive. Or even like a smart car. You know, like the people had those smart cars, the Mercedes ones, and then I saw this aftermath once of a smart car that got hit by a transport truck, and it was not pretty. I'll tell you that much. There was not much left of the smart car, let's just say.
All right, after this hand, I'm going to get my tissues, and I'm getting rid of this camo hat. I think I need to get the green one. I think the camo one might be bad luck.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason. I love the camo, though, because it fits really nice.
I want one of those, actually.
The camo one is super nice. I think the green one is probably luckier. But either way, I think I'm going to get the green hat and my tissues. Terry reminded me.
Makes sense because green is the traditional higher color. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't say enough good things about Jason and sponsoring Burr Friends. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get this hat and these tissues. Oh, let me take these out. Be right back.
All right, we'll try to stall the hand out as long as we can, or should I just raise every hand and take all of her chips? Chat, is this real? Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying this. Oh, man, now it's giving her the hand. That's okay. Burr, you made me lose a hand because I was trying to be nice. It's on you, and I have aces, so I really don't want to miss. I don't want to miss this one. I have aces. Hurry.
Okay. People are like, did she really change her hat because she thought it was unlucky? Yeah, you're right. I fucking absolutely did because sometimes that's what you need. But I did get my tissues.
If you come back and beat me now with that hat, I mean, those hats are gonna fly off the shelves.
They're gonna sell themselves. Okay.
What do you think of the recent channel changes over on Firecaster?
I'm so glad I don't have a fucking channel to deal with this nonsense.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot to start, but I don't know. I'm down to let them cook, you know.
So there are a few things that I do like. I subscribe to Cat Cartel's channel, and I get these pings whenever she drops free art. So I love that, and I get my free art every single time. And so for that, I love it. And she's using the announcements in the right way. But I see a ton of people that are using these announcements in the wrong way. But that's not the channel change's fault. I think that people by default will do their own curation. I think they're going to unsubscribe from people that they don't like or that are probably sending out too many announcements, which they should. And I think it's going to correct itself. But
like, let the market do its thing is what I agree as well.
The market's going to fix itself. But I think that over time it'll sort itself out, hopefully. But I just see a lot of people treating these channels like we're not here to just feed you Moxie. You're not supposed to ping us for every single time you think you have a banger cast to send out. Like that's not what
Yeah.
this is for. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Sure. Is Burr American Asian? She's so pretty. Oh, that's so nice. I am 100%
Look at this
Korea.
hand. Look at this hand. Look at this hand.
You
Fucking
deserve
brutal.
you
No,
deserve
I
this.
didn't. I was trapping. I was trapping and I got trapped by the board.
You waited just you if you bet the ocean, I would have
Yeah,
folded.
I understand that, but yeah. No, you're not folding the river. There's no way. But that
um
board. Anyways, not a good board for kings, ladies and gentlemen. Put it that way.
You know, it had been a while. You hadn't bitched. Almost an it's been almost an hour. I think we've been playing a little bit over an hour. The people tuned in to hear you bitch, Toady, and that's the
That's
first
true.
time.
I'm
So
sorry. I just
yeah,
want to apologize.
look, I got rivered here.
You did.
I had you to the eight.
Counterfeit. You
Fair is
counterfeited.
fair.
That is classic Club GG hands, back to back.
The other day I was playing 5-10 no limit heads up with a guy, and you buy so on GG you can buy in for 150 blind. So I sat with 1500 and I stacked the guy literally on the first hand. He did it to himself, and he types in the chat like, "Oh, I see how the dealer is going to be like this tonight." And I just want you to know, Toady, that they think the dealer is against them at every limit. It's not just free poker. It's literally every nosebleed limit you can think of. They think the dealer is out to get them.
I don't have a problem with the dealer in the sense that like sometimes you get bad cards. What I'm talking about is like really weird like runouts all the time. Like always everybody has a piece of the flop, these types of things. I don't know. I just don't find you see them in live very often.
The
But anyway,
funniest one was Poker Now when you had those aces and you literally called it from the upper deck. You're like, this is going to come running
watch.
queens. And I
Yeah.
was like, I fucking know this is going to happen because I know Toady is going to start whining. It's going to be epic. And he's definitely going to take this beat. Like, I know.
I didn't whine. I took it like a
No,
champ. In fact, I
no, no,
called
no.
it in.
No, you said it was going to happen like before it happened. It was incredible.
It was funny. It made for a good clip though. We clipped that one out.
Oh, I know.
I said, all right, I'm gonna crack my aces. And then he did with ace king, by the way, which is like 1% to win against aces or something. Anyways.
Okay, so we're about even since we switched to the green hat, but we haven't lost any, so that's good news. The green hat is break even so far, guys.
This is like product research.
Yeah, well, we need to see. There's an art to this. I have this other hat sitting here. This is my nuclear nerd hat. I still work with this project. It's an NFT project from 2021. This hat is pretty lucky, and if I get really desperate, I might actually have to put that one on. But the luckiest T-shirt of all time that I have is one that says "Degenerate Gambler" across the front of it, and I used to wear it to every day 3 at the World Series of Poker. It's why I have so many pictures of me in this T-shirt, but it's so old. I have to find a new one. I can't find it anywhere, but it's my favorite T-shirt. It's the best one.
You can just get one made. Like
Yeah.
Get one made by Jachian. What's his name? Jason. Jason. Right?
Jason. Yeah. Let's see here.
It's always sad when you're calling Warpcast people by their username. You're like, what's his name again?
What's that guy's name?
Warpcast.
Oh my god! Well, when they did this whole update, everyone changed their handles. Like everyone has in poker, some of them use their like name that they have, and not everyone used their @ so I don't know what to do about that. I know who everyone is, but it's such a pain in the ass to make people create a new account. But I think I might just leave it because some people are probably grandfathered in. Man, I'm getting such bad cards. Oh, what can I do here?
It must have been that animal sacrifice that I did before the game.
I have so many tricks up my sleeve. I got lucky shirts and lucky hats all over this house. I'll see what I can do. People are really getting a look at some real craziness that's happening on this stream. They're like, are professional poker players really like this? They have lucky hats. People, you have no idea. You have
Have
no
you
idea.
seen what, like NHL players and like some of these, like NHL in specific, like they have all
Oh,
these
well, they
weird
change their
weird
socks.
rituals. Yeah, all these
Yeah.
rituals, and they'll talk about them. Yeah.
Some people I have I'm not doing it like if you see me like with my hands like I'm usually shuffling chips or something, but some people have some really crazy things that they do in poker. Like they'll get the cards dealt, then they have their chip protector, they have to do this, they have to do that before they literally do anything, look at their cards. And I'm
And then
just
they'll
like,
still lose the hand. They'll be like,
yeah,
ah,
I'm just like, how none of that worked. Why are we still doing this? Like negative reinforcement, only positive reinforcement people take care of. Like they don't care about the rest, the negative stuff.
I mean,
All
you
right.
basically just describe why religion exists. Yes, we
Oh
only
yeah.
we only remember positive reinforcement of these types of things. Poopy says hire 10x in 1 month. Is that true? I don't know.
It did. It did. Yeah.
There
Hire
you
is one of those bags where you had it and you're just like one day you're just like, holy shit, what happened?
go. Hey, it went higher.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just like
it has a really interesting
it's a
owner
great
base.
name.
Great name, great meme. That's usually when I'm trading meme coins. That's usually what I'm looking at. Is like, is the meme good? Does it have staying power? Is the team good? Do they have staying power? And then if not, then just just know what you're buying, and then get in, get out. But
We got into
yeah.
Hire because we saw Kobe, a Kobe wallet buy it a while ago, and we're like, well, that's got
Oh,
to be a good coin then.
interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know he had bought some.
Oh, it was a
But
long
yeah,
time ago, a really long time ago.
I had a pretty big bag when they launched. I mean, so the guys that launched it actually are friends of Nouns. Basically, they've been involved in the Nouns community for a while.
What a great name for a coin, Hire. Just like, oh, just go higher.
It's right in the name. It's right in the name.
It's why I love Degen so much. Like they can do a lot with this coin. They're having a lot of they've had a lot of issues, and I think a lot of people don't really like this whole if you tip for 15 times you're going to get your allowance revoked.
Yeah. That just means that Jason can't win your tournaments anymore.
I don't know if he's going to go through with this, but Degen as a name is just a classic name for the base coins in the ecosystem. And
Yeah.
I had a really good call with Yasik recently, and I get the impression that Yasik is like really impulsive when he makes decisions, and then he just kind of sends it out into the wind. He's like, let's just see if they like this. I messaged him, and I was
A
like,
lot of founders are, though. A lot of founders are,
know.
and kind of have to be because I mean, the nice thing is you can always change things, right? So, I mean,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of teams could benefit from like a comms community person, right? I think there's a huge disconnect between the founder if and not every founder can do this, right? The founders are not in the trenches every day with the community, seeing what they love, seeing what they hate, and they don't really have this understanding of what's going on. And I feel like if you have this person who's working every day with the community, they can report back and then communicate exactly what they want to say. Like
yeah,
Yasik has this thing where he doesn't want people to farm, and then he has this idea. He needs to have someone who's here to be like, "Don't say this. You want to solve this. This is what should happen." But I feel like there is somewhat of a disconnect there at times with every
yeah,
founder.
yeah. I think that's fair. Terry says a lot of teams could benefit from Burr. I thought it said a lot of teams could benefit from a lot of Burr at first, which was funny.
Well, I think I'm actually gonna take this gig on the road. I worked for a couple different teams when NFT season popped off, and I don't want to work for a team perpetually. I don't want to work to begin with, but I think what I'm gonna do is consult with some different teams and like take them through times where they need help. Like so if one of the platforms is coming into a new release of a product and it's going to take them 2 or 3 months to roll that out, I'm
Yeah,
going to enter Burr. I'm going to help them in the trenches with spaces, etc., and take them through that 2 months where they need that help. But I don't want to work for any one team. I want to help individual projects.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's how I entered the space too. I started
Yeah.
doing helping a team out with an NFT project that needed help. Like it said, it was launching the next day, and their Twitter had 200 followers, and I really liked the art, so I sent them a message, and I was like, hey, like, this is cool, but I like, maybe we should postpone from tomorrow because nobody knows who you are. And then
yeah, many such cases.
yeah, for sure.
Let's see. I'm just reading this chat here. See if I missed anything. I'm so blind. I really need to. I would not pass a driving test with this context. I don't think. I need to get new contacts. No, teams. Of course they didn't listen. Literally anything I said went under in 2 months. Yeah, I mean a lot of people they say they want help, but they have to really need it, and they have to really mean it when they say they want help. And I think the one team that I am going to sign on to help with, I'm not gonna say which team it is because
Alpha. No, okay.
Actually, but I think if anybody is like loosely like really following what I actually do in the space, you'll probably know who it is. But I'm really excited for it because if I think this is one of the teams that actually does really want help in the space, and I think I could really be effective in that. I think what a lot of these teams do is they're like, oh, let's just hire Web3 influencers and spend all this money to just cast out to the void. And it's like, that's so ineffective. Like, when have you ever bought or tried anything because you just saw someone tweet about it, right? It's just not the case. And I don't know why people keep doing this, but that's just not going to, that way of doing things is just not great at all.
I don't know if you saw, but like Coinbase put out a job on Twitter, on X, and it's like $200,000 plus role, and basically to run, social media marketing for Base. Huge role, and like it sparked a big conversation. People saying, adding Brian and being like, this is why you're going under. You can't pay this much for some Gen Z to do this and that. And then with other people being like, actually, this is, that's what you need to pay to get someone who really understands what it means to go viral, to have, W memes, as Poopy Pie would say. It's not easy stuff. So
and that's the thing. Moxie had a position open for an operations person before they released everything. And I considered applying for that, but I just don't think I want like a big position. I like kind of
freedom.
Like having the autonomy to kind of like bounce around. But I do like when I like a project, I want to help them, but I don't want to do it for free, right? But sometimes you just really want to help someone. That's how I basically got all of my positions. And that, if anybody does want to work in this space, I think there's a lot to be said about volunteering your time, right? There was a ton of different places where I volunteered. I was like, hey, I think you guys need help with this. I think you should do X, Y, and Z. Just for example, I recently had a call with Colin, who is one of the founders for Ponder, who was working on the polls.
Kojo,
I just have all these ideas for how to get these polls onto the timeline and get people talking about them. And it's like, if you're a person who has ideas, or if you're a person who's really good with graphic design or what have you, you see a need. Fubar, who's one of the sharpest devs that I know in this space, said that he got his start by volunteering, by solving a problem that needed solving.
Many such cases for sure. And this is one of the only spaces where you can do that in my experience. I haven't seen that in the meat space as much, where you can just really get an opportunity to collaborate no matter where you live on some really interesting projects and problems, and make yourself invaluable, and then earn a living doing it potentially.
Mm-hmm. Robot Fish Girl says that you forced money on her.
Please don't put it that way ever again.
I hope you're paying taxes on that, Robot Fish Girl.
Yeah, what's that meme? I don't know how I got onto this live stream. I was probably added by a third party.
I don't know how I got here. Okay. Let's see here.
You're just gonna shove me into.
I'm gonna show this one hand here. Okay. Jason put a cast out and said, I'll learn today if the green hat is certified lucky and the tides turn for Burberry. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. But I don't know. Jason, we got dealt aces with this hat.
It's true. I'm usually wearing a hat, but I'm not wearing one today. I have one beside me though. Got my trusty Noggle hat. But
Oh,
again, I don't
nice.
want I don't want to change my attire because then the poker gods might change their mind.
See, yeah, you can't mess with the recipe if it's working.
That's right. Especially if the recipe was very unlikely to work. Just go with it. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Nobody move.
Don't scare it away.
You keep shoving on my worst possible hands. Like there's no way I can go.
Oh my God, gamble a little, Toady. Jesus.
I do want you to go and do your taxes or whatever you need to do. But
No, I have a space soon. I have to go to Wasteland Wednesday at 3, but we have 18 minutes. I think it's going to wrap up before then anyway.
maybe, unless you
Maybe.
shove on me at the right time, and then
I gotta double up a couple times to make this competitive.
Oh, it can happen.
Well, it could
Probably will
happen fast. I am 7 days free of vaping. I quit vaping just on a whim, like, I don't know, 9 days ago when I was sick. I was like, oh, I'm just going to stop vaping. And I'm dying here because I'm gambling, I'm drinking caffeine, and I'm losing gambling. So it's like, this is the worst.
Why couldn't you have a nice little flush there? Why not?
I have 7 high.
Clubs? Oh, man.
Gigi says she'd be open to online job, but I think my English is not that good. Gigi, I've told you before, your English is wonderful. Every time I hear this from someone who's not whose English is not their first language, in spaces, I'm sure you heard this too. We would have people come up in spaces and apologize for their English. And more often than not, their English was better than people that speak English as their first language.
Yeah, and certainly better than your Japanese would have been, or
right, exactly. When people who know 2 languages don't know, the second language that well. I know my Spanish is not as good as my English, is for sure.
Yeah, I speak French fluently, but I mean, if you don't use it, you lose the proficiency.
My sign language is probably better than my Spanish these days.
The only sign language I know is what we taught to my son. We taught him some sign language before he could speak.
That's smart. We taught my nephew, and it's so much better when you can actually communicate with them. But both my boyfriend's parents are both deaf, and I learned pretty quickly so I could communicate with them. Sign language is a beautiful language. And
oh no, my phone just died.
Oh boy!
Now's your chance.
Oh no, I'll wait.
BRB.
Okay, guys, I should keep raising him here. I think you know what happened. Toady got me in this live stream and he got me talking, so I wasn't concentrating. But I've also been extremely card dead. I'm gonna use this time bank here. Oh my god! I do have to go at 3 though. 15 minutes.
Me too.
Native English speakers are often the worst. You're not wrong about that, Terry Bean.
Oh, it's giving me the disconnection.
That's okay. Yeah. You have time. Looks like 45 seconds.
I think the app is like very heavy on your battery life sometimes.
My phone is so bad. It's cracked. The battery's bad. It's really old. But I have my Google Authenticator on here, and I'm so fighting getting a new phone. I just don't want to transfer everything over, and it's just like on its last leg. Ever since crypto, I'm just like, I don't want a new phone. I used to always want a new phone, and now I despise the idea of moving everything over. It's such a pain. Over? Yeah.
You have an Android or an Apple?
I have an Android. I have 2 phones. I have a work phone that's iPhone, and my primary one is Android. But I say I have a work phone, but I don't even have a job, so it's very loose. It was an iPhone that an NFT project bought for me, so I just keep calling it a work phone. Are you back yet, Toady? I'll wait.
Club GG is frozen. I don't know what's going on. Give it a sec. It was frozen. It's frozen on this like Road to Paradise ad that it likes to show you. Okay, I'm back. We're good. You can raise me now.
Good. I'm all in.
I should go this night. Here we go. Come on.
I had to wait for you to get back here.
That's so bad. Come
DG,
on. What are the odds? This is what I'm talking about.
I have an interview lined up at the end of the month. Raise.
Everybody saw that, right? Everybody saw Burr bait me into calling with a subpar.
Oh my god! What do I even have? 8,400? That's not even remotely close to a win here.
It's double what you had a minute ago. Now I'm scared.
No, I'm scared. You shouldn't be scared.
Real talk, when I'm playing heads up, this is the part of the game I hate the most, because so many times I've lost a few in a row and then lost a heads up. So it really, anything can change in this game. So.
Well, you've been heads up this whole time.
No, sorry. What I mean is during a heads up tournament, when it gets down to one player having very few chips.
Oh, the majority of chips to finish it off.
Yeah, it's that's the hardest part. I feel like, I don't know. Or maybe there's just more pressure because you're I gotta finish it. But
I didn't used to like playing heads up at all, but recently, from just this club, just from getting to the ends of tournaments, I started playing more, and that actually gave me the confidence to play heads up in these cash games. And I realized that the people in my actual real club are pretty bad. So that I realized. These regs who start these games are pretty bad. So you guys have actually really helped me in my day-to-day poker activities to beat on some of these bad regs.
it is a special skill. We talked about it at the top of the stream too, but just how it is very different than most poker decisions when you're playing heads up. But either way, whatever happens, it's been fun playing.
Oh, it's been a ton of fun. I think you have probably passed Ramsey for the amount of hands it's taken. Let's see here. We're in 195 hands so far, which is a long time. Heads up.
The blinds are a little less aggressive, maybe, than what
they are. A touch slower than they were with Ramsey. So what are the blinds currently right now?
They're 600. Not too bad.
600. So what do I have? 13 blinds. Yeah, this is about what it should be. I bet they could probably be a little bit faster. I think I set it to standard. They can probably be turbo, just not hyper turbo.
Yeah.
So 25K, 10-minute blinds with turbo blinds, I think is probably the right spot. But then if I play Lewis again, I would probably play him 3 tables with this structure. Seems fine. Not this structure, with the turbo.
Yeah.
I keep trying. Yeah, I don't know what the sweet spot is, but I would do whoever the person is playing me, right? If they want a fast structure and try to get lucky, I'm down with that, right? When Wagyu and I played the first one, I played it with a pretty fast structure. I just thought that anybody who wanted to play probably wanted to play a longer or a shorter structure, just to have I don't know, if you think you're at a disadvantage, you probably want to play a faster structure to try to get lucky. Yeah. But for you and I knew we were going to play on stream, so I figured we would try to play a long one.
Yeah. And it has been, but it's been fun. Almost 2 hours now. Definitely
been fun. I also thought you were probably going to be a warrior, because I didn't think you were just going to give it away, right? I know I've seen you play in the club too. You weren't just going to be blasting off. So this was always going to be a really, really fun match. Plus, it's always fun to talk to you. I think we both have spaces at 3:00 though. Don't you have a space also?
I have something at 3. Yeah.
We gotta wrap this up.
It's coming down the wire.
I thought 2 hours would be enough for this. I was like, all right.
Yeah, me too.
Toady and I can do Wednesday, and then I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm like, oh wow, I'm really busy for someone who doesn't have a job.
Yeah. Many such cases. Yeah, and similarly, I'm trying to resist the urge to call with subpar hands to try to finish it, because it's sometimes that does the opposite effect. It just lengthens the game because you end up doubling up your opponent a few times.
Toady and I are just going to be sending messages we are going to be 10 minutes late.
Maybe 20 minutes late. I don't have a 5, so I can't call.
I have a 5. I have a 5 and a 9.
Ooh, I have a 6.
I was hoping you just had a 5.
Oh, that would have been good. That usually on Club GG I would have. So you're right to expect that. Terrible starting hands. What a time to go card dead.
I've been card dead for 2 hours. All right, Jason. So far, so good. This hat has been better than the camo hat.
It's true. You doubled up.
You know what?
You a double up.
The camo hat is actually what got me knocked out of that big tournament when the guy knocked me out with ace 10 when I had ace king. So I might have to retire the camo hat for poker. It just might not be a poker hat, which is fine. It can be an everyday hat, though. They're not all poker. They're just not all poker hats. Sometimes they're just regular hats.
Exactly. I don't think I can call you with 6 deuce, unfortunately. Come on, Gigi, give us an action hand for the TVs. Give us a Hollywood hand. We got to get the ratings. Come on.
Give me aces again, Gigi.
That's right. Now give me kings. Wait. What am I asking for?
Well, yeah, you want a king on the flop. Got to be specific.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, we both have these hands. No wonder this match is going on.
We're both trapping each other and no one gets trapped.
God, no one's betting.
Well, the river kind of like, I don't know, made me feel like I wasn't getting paid by a better hand. So
the river made me feel like that. It's like, oh, maybe Toady will bluff here.
Yeah, you would think I should have. The river saved me from myself.
All right.
Rarely happens. But it really would be cool if people could see the cards.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'll look into that. I don't know where we could possibly do that. Gigi says, what are good starting hands? Terry, that is not correct.
7 deuce or better.
Good starting hands are high cards, high pairs, sometimes suited connectors, depending on your position. But I always talk about good starting hands are proportional to where you are positionally.
And how many players there are.
Yeah, any hand can be good if you're on the button, because you're last to act.
And this is an unlock to remember in heads up play, which is that you're on the button half of the time.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
If somebody gave me the button every single hand, I would play anyone in the world for money. Literally, anyone.
For sure. That's a big difference.
Oh, my alarm's going off.
Are you going to get fired by the nuclear nerds if we go over?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They love me. I'm actually just going to tell them we're running a little bit late.
We can put that on the YouTube when we restream this or whatever. We'll put that as the caption. Fired for playing poker on stream?
Fired from her job. She said she was sick, and they saw her playing on stream playing poker.
Did she do her taxes?
IRS comes for a professional poker player after claiming on stream she pays.
I can't do it. I know we need to go, but
so you know what, Toady? I think what we can do. I asked if we can start 10 minutes late. Okay. What we can do is we can probably shut the stream down, and you and I can just keep playing.
That's true.
We could go. I could just go do my space. We'll just keep playing if we have to. But
well, actually, I have to have my wife with something at 3. I don't know if I'll be able to multitask. But I'm not sure what the solution is.
You're on your phone, live. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say I need my hands for this, but I realize that's gonna be taken the wrong way. But I just she needs me to help her move some stuff. So
I forgot, I haven't asked you recently, but how's new little Toad doing? Hope he's doing well.
He's great. Sleeps a lot, healthy.
Oh,
So yeah, I can't ask for more.
oh, that's good. Hoping he stays that way, and mom's doing well. Mom's nice and healthy.
So far, so good.
Good. We need more little Toads in this world.
That's right. And the 2-year-old's going through an interesting time as well. No. I have a good hand, but
I have a J. That's got to be good.
a J is good.
J is good.
I had an A, but there was nothing for me. It was probably coming on the river though. Should have just called. Wagyu would have called. What would Wagyu do?
Well, WWWD.
Robot Fish Girl says I'm self-aware, but I don't know what that was in reference to. So I can't be that self-aware.
I think you're single-handedly one of the players in Burr Friends that everyone loves to see at the table. Like when they open up the table and they're like, "Oh, Toady's here!" Like because I think they know you from Workcast, and your name is just like right there, Toady Hawk. And I think that when you started playing in Burr Friends, it was like a huge. It was a huge jump for the club. It like legitimized it for a lot of people to see you playing in it, and I think, yeah, I really appreciate
it. That's very
it.
kind. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think you're probably selling yourself short for all the work you do to get people playing. So I'm not taking credit for that by any means.
No, I think you are actually underselling yourself. I think it really says a lot when they see people like you and Bitfloor Ghosts and people with large followings saying like, I'm having fun in this club. It's like, it's easy for people to see like just a bunch of people having fun. But when they see people like you with all these followers saying this club is fun and you should join it, it says a lot about the club, and I really appreciate it. Like it was
like, oh, he's a DGen too, one of us.
He's one of us. Yeah, it's actually a fun experience. I think Cameron had a really great time in the game yesterday. I followed up with.
I forgot. Yeah, you had fun.
Yeah, Cameron had a great time. I think a lot of people don't realize what the experience is until they actually play.
Of course. I was also bullying him in the chat the entire time. So.
Oh, that's great. That's part of the experience, though, right?
Yeah, I got closer with Cameron when we both played in Cast Out earlier this year, which was really fun.
Cameron's great. He's a great guy. Talked a lot about his show. Oh, wow.
Oh, come on, Burr. You have a hand every time you shove or what?
No, I don't. One time I had King 6, but I got it.
Now I'm gonna lose.
No, you're not gonna lose. But if you do, you won't be on stream. We'll both be in our spaces, so it won't be embarrassing.
Now the game's gonna go for 4 hours.
It might go for 4 hours. It could be fun. If it goes for 4 hours, we can just meet back here on the stream. My space will only be about 30, 40 minutes, so let me know if you want to boot back up. I have to get Jason some props here. The green hat really was just to turn her around, man. I did it right in time. These higher hats are gonna be flying off the shelves.
They should have a new format of tournament poker, kind of like chess, where you have like a timer, because the timer definitely does make you act differently when you're on the clock. You gotta get it finished. I'll call with 2 5s. What could go wrong?
I wonder if playing on stream makes us play differently. I guess we'll see, but
probably,
yeah.
Just paying attention to everything even is a lot.
Sure.
Gigi's asking why I chose the name Toady Hawk. Well, the lore on Toady Hawk is one of my first NFTs. Well, actually, my first NFT was a Pudgy Penguin that I flipped, but my first NFT that I loved was a Cryptoad, and my Cryptoad had a mohawk. And at one point, Gremplin posted on Twitter, and he said sort of like, reply with the lore of your toad, and people were just kind of making up stories for their toad. And so I asked someone in the Discord to Photoshop a pixel skateboard onto my frog, and I called him Toady Hawk and made up a backstory for him being a skateboarding toad. And then that just became my sort of Web3 persona, and then over time that was just me. And so yeah, that's the backstory on Toady Hawk. And then when I joined Nouns, I always wanted to get a frog noun because there's no toad noun, unfortunately. So frog was the best best I was going to get. And there you go.
I
Yeah, great.
I had Cryptodes. That was one of my first NFTs too. I had a Cryptodes. He was pretty cute too.
I like cryptos a lot.
I liked them going straight up. They were fun.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the one downside of making an NFT your identity, because at the time I didn't have my nouns, so my Toad was literally my Twitter bio, everything, Twitter, PFP, etc. So I definitely rode that one all the way up to like 20 ETH and back down again. So that was a humbling experience.
Oh, that's why I never. So I never had. If you notice, I don't have any like. I never had any. Even my nuclear nerd is that's what I used in this one. But I never had like a PFP that was really directly tied to me. I just kept
Yeah.
using my face because I was doxxed from poker. But if you see in my Warpcast PFP, I have an NFT bird in there, which is it's a collection that predates Bored Ape Yacht Club. And it was like it's a small collection, 1,100. All the people in FT birds would be so excited to hear me shilling them. But they're just like these cute little birds. I love them, and I have a ton of them. But yeah, I have a couple that I could probably make my PFP, but at this point, it's just been too long, so I think I'm just going to alternate. But I love my MFR, my nerd, I have a ton of them.
I had a bunch of nerds as well back in the day. I liked the art a lot.
Oh, our artist is lights out. Adam Archer is one of the best. We're almost done our origin story. It's one of these projects. It's just kind of like the little engine that could. Just like keep plugging away. We're on like our 12th comic. It's just like we're not in a race. We were always like here for the lore. We're gonna write the story with the community and whatever happens. Yeah.
Honestly, any project that's still around since 2021, that's all I need to hear. To be honest with you, like that says a lot. That the founders are still there. That people are still, or at least that the community is still there.
Founders, the artist, me, we just clock in. I'm a little late to Wasteland Wednesday, but
it's all good.
I'm over here on Warpcast. Like the community can't ask for too much more. But it is what it is. We're gonna figure it out. I don't know if NFTs will come back the same way that they did, but
it's hard to say. And even if they do, it's hard to say whether historical collections will have any.
They may never
premium, or if it'll just be the new thing.
But I do know that they can't come back if they're not here at all, right?
Yep.
Like if they give up, they can't. So if you're in with one that's still clocking in and still here, then that's at least a sign of life, right?
Also, it seems cliche to say like it's about the friends you made along the way, but really, with NFTs, it often is. It's just the people that you met in those projects, and like those became your friends from all over the world. That's certainly the case for me with people from Nouns and Cryptos before that, and other NFT projects. Like it gives you something in common, right?
Of course, there are a few people that like I literally cannot put a price tag on. Like I Am Fairy is one of my closest friends. She's the one I have the food box share. She gives me my fresh produce. I give her fresh rolls from New Jersey, and she came from Nuclear Nerds. A ton of my friends came from Nuclear Nerds that I've known for tons
Alina
of
Ferry?
years.
You're talking about Alina?
Alina. No.
Alina Ferry.
No. I Am Fairy. She's on Warpcast, and she's the gardener who grows all the fresh produce. Comes in with amazing vibes all the time. But yeah, I met her through Nuclear Nerds, and I've met tons of people from the NFT community. I catch up with NFT NYC. They've been to Atlantic City. Like, I would do almost anything for these people.
That's awesome.
All right, let's see here.
Speaking of NFT friends, all of my NFT friends from Nouns, or most of them, are currently at Nouns Fest in LA. I'm very sad not to be there, but hopefully they're all having a good time if they see this. Hello from Toady. Missing out and missing you guys all.
I don't go to a lot of stuff because I hate flying.
Okay.
Bitfloor and I are cut from the same cloth. We don't like flying. We don't like traveling. But I do go to NFT NYC every year to New York, and I will make an exception. If Burr Friends ever has like a poker meetup in Vegas, I will make the trek. And Bitfloor said he would come out for that too. So could have a little poker meetup out in Vegas at some point.
Where's Bitfloor from?
I think he's on the West Coast out there, so it's drivable for him.
Nice. That would be fun.
Yeah, we're not fans of the flying. Mm-mm. Last time I was out in Vegas, I drove.
Wow.
From New Jersey to San Diego. Hey,
Spark says come to Hawaii.
I would love to come to Hawaii. I've never felt so much FOMO than when Sparks and Tracy were hanging out together in Hawaii. I was like, I want to be there. Okay. All right, I think after this hand, I have to get on my space. I have a huge hand, Toady. You better step lightly here.
You mean you have a king, a solitary king?
I'm gonna
Wait,
check.
now I have a really huge hand too. So
I have a huge hand.
I have a straight.
I was free rolling you. I had a spade.
I have Broadway, so.
Unfortunately, we got to hop off here. I got to get on the space with my nuclear nerds, but I had the best time with you.
Yeah.
And if we're still playing after the space, we can hop back on. But I have a feeling it will end sometime in the space. But I just want to say thank you for doing this with me and just being a part of Burr Friends. You make it so much more fun. And thank you for being so nice to everyone when they play with you at the table.
Of course. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for everything you do. If anyone is watching the stream and they want to figure out how they can get involved with Burr Friends, where do they go? What do they do?
They can slide in my DMs or they can DM any one of the interns. But basically, you just have to download Club GG Poker app, find club ID 183586. I know you're not going to write that down, but
maybe you will.
Actually, if you just go onto my timeline or if you just DM me or any of the interns, we can help you walk through this process. It's super easy, and we welcome literally all levels of players, and we can't wait to have you in Burr Friends with us.
I love it. Thanks, Melissa. We'll do it again sometime soon.
Take care, guys. Bye. Good luck, Toady. I'm going to get you.